So you're getting ready for your driving theory test, right? It can definitely feel like you're just trying to memorize a ton of rules. But in this explainer, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use these test questions to build some real confidence, to really get the why behind all the rules of the road. All right, let's dive in. We're going to break this down into 4 key areas. First up, we'll be reading road signs. Then we'll get into the rules at junctions. After that, it's all about defensive driving 101. And we'll wrap up with a really important one, driving and alcohol. Okay, so first up, road signs. Here's the secret. They're basically a visual language. And once you get the hang of the patterns, the shapes and the colors, you can figure out what they mean almost instantly, even if it's a sign you've never seen before. It's pretty cool. Let's kick things off with a classic question. Have a look at these 3 signs. Which one of these is telling you that lanes are merging ahead? Take a guess. A, B, or C? And the correct answer is A. But listen, the real lesson here isn't just the answer, it's the pattern. See that triangle with the red border? That shape is your signal for warning. It's a heads up that there's a potential hazard coming up. Here, it's merging traffic. Okay, let's try another one. Picture this. You're driving along, coming up to an intersection, and you see this sign pop up. What do? What's the immediate correct action here? The right move is to slow down and keep a sharp eye out for traffic coming from the left. This is a very specific sign for a T-junction. You're joining a main road, so all the traffic you need to worry about is going to be coming at you from the left. All right, here's another super important pattern to lock in your brain. Prohibitive signs. See how they're both circles with a red border? That's the visual code for something you cannot do. On the left, no stopping. On the right, no right turn. It's that simple. Red circle means nope, don't do it. Okay, so if red circles mean don't, then what about blue circles? Take a look at this one. It's telling you to turn right. But is that just a friendly suggestion, or is it something you have to do? You guessed it, it is absolutely mandatory. Think of blue circles as the exact opposite of the red ones. They give you a positive command, something you must do. So yeah, when you see a blue circle, it's not a suggestion, it's an order. Okay, we've got the basics of signs down. Now let's see how all this plays out in what can be one of the trickiest parts of driving, junctions. This is where everything, signs, who has the right of way, just being aware, it all has to come together. All right, another classic scenario. You're at a traffic light, you've got the green arrow to make your turn, and all of a sudden it starts blinking. You have to make a split-second decision. What is the right call? Here's the rule. If you have not crossed that white stop line yet, you stop. That blinking green arrow is basically a warning saying your time is running out. Now, if you're already in the intersection, sure, go ahead and finish your turn safely. But if you're behind the line, you gotta stop. But what about junctions where there are no lights at all? An uncontrolled junction like this one. The rule of thumb is actually pretty simple. If you're turning, you give way to traffic that's going straight. So in this picture, car A wants to turn. That means it has to wait for both car B and car C to go straight through first. And this brings up a really crucial point about the hierarchy of the road. A police officer's hand signals, they beat everything. They override traffic lights, they override signs, everything. So let's look at 2 key signals here. If an officer's arm is out to the side, horizontally, that usually means traffic can go in that direction. But if that arm goes straight up in the air, that's a universal signal for everyone to STOP. Okay, so knowing the rules is one thing, but being a truly great, safe driver, that's about your mindset. And that's exactly what defensive driving is all about. It's kind of like the art of seeing the future, of anticipating and preventing problems before they even happen. And maybe the most important tool in your defensive driving toolkit is the 2-second rule. It's a super simple way to make sure you have enough stopping distance. Here's how it works. Just pick a fixed object on the side of the road, maybe a lamppost or a sign. When the car in front of you passes it, you start counting, 1,000, 2, 1,000. If you pass that same spot before you finish counting, you're following too closely. And here's the thing a lot of people get wrong. This isn't just for the highway. The 2-second rule is universal. It works at all speeds. Whether you're crawling through city traffic or cruising down the motorway, it always gives you that safe buffer you need. And this defensive mindset just pops up everywhere. Someone's overtaking you? Don't speed up. Just ease off a bit and help them get by safely. Driving past a line of parked cars? Slow down, because you never know when a door might open or a kid might run out. Driving at night? Dip your headlights for oncoming cars. And if you hear a siren behind you, simple. Just pull over safely and as soon as you can. All right, for our last section, we're going to talk about something where there is zero room for debate, absolutely no gray area: driving and alcohol. Let's just start with the number one fact you need to know. This isn't about being over the limit or not. It's about being safe. And the fact is, even a tiny amount of alcohol makes you a less safe driver, period. There is no safe amount you can drink before getting behind the wheel. So what's actually happening? Why is it so dangerous? Well, the science is really clear. Alcohol is a depressant. It slows down your brain and your body's reactions. That split second of reaction time you lose, well, that can be the difference between hitting the brakes in time and a terrible accident. So this leads to a really practical, real-world question. Imagine you're at a party and a friend has had a few drinks. They say, "No, I'm fine, I'm okay to drive." What is the only right thing to tell them in that moment? The answer is simple, and it's not up for discussion. They don't drive. End of story. Help them get a cab, call a rideshare, figure out the bus schedule, whatever it takes. It is the only responsible answer, not just for the test, but for life. So there you have it. We've gone over the signs, the rules for junctions, and the right mindset to have. But I want to leave you with this final thought. Knowing the rules is really just step one. The real skill, the true art of safe driving, is using all that knowledge to guess what other drivers are going to do before they do it. So the real question for you is, how do you turn all these rules into pure instinct?